If peace is the intention, peace can always be negotiated. But when power, fear, and survival become a part of the equation, war can start to feel inevitable. And by the time ordinary people notice, we are already living in the consequences. In early 2026, a coordinated strike hit Iran. Its top leadership was eliminated. Within days, the Strait of Hormuz was disrupted. Oil prices surged. Global shipping slowed. And suddenly, fuel, food, daily expenses, everything just feels a little bit heavier. This war is not far away, and you and I are already paying for it. So the real question is, why now? Why did Israel choose this moment to act? To understand that, we have to go back to 2010. Western intelligence believed Iran was developing nuclear capability. At the same time, Iranian leadership was openly hostile towards Israel's existence.
So how much enriched uranium do you need for a bomb? And how close is Iran to getting it? Well, let me show you. Brought a diagram for you. This is a bomb, this is a fuse. In the case of Iran's nuclear plans to build a bomb, this bomb has to be filled with enough enriched uranium. And Iran has to go through 3 stages. Where's Iran? Iran's completed the first stage. Now they're well into the second stage. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. If these are the facts, and they are, where should a red line be drawn? A red line should be drawn right here, before Iran completes the second stage of nuclear enrichment necessary to make a bomb.
For Israel, this wasn't just strategy, it was survival. Then Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was ready to strike. Plans were prepared. Military options were on the table. But at the last moment, the operation was stopped. Several senior figures stepped in, leaders from intelligence and the military. Among them was former Mayor Dugin. They weren't avoiding conflict out of fear. They understood something deeper. Once a war like this begins, you don't control how it ends. For years, these figures held the line. They delayed and what we are witnessing today. But time passed. These voices gradually disappeared, retired, replaced, or gone. And with them, the restraint weakened. At the same time, Netanyahu faced increasingly internal pressure, political challenges, legal risks, and a divided public. So the calculation changed. Because sometimes, war is not only about external threats, it becomes tied to internal survival. If peace is the goal, peace can always be negotiated. But if staying in power is the goal, then conflict becomes useful. War can unify a nation. It can delay accountability. It can redirect attention. And suddenly, continuing the war becomes the most logical path for those in charge, even if the cost is carried by everyone else. So where does this leave us? You and I, we are not sitting in those decision rooms, but we are living with the consequences. Higher costs, more uncertainty, a world that feels a little less stable. And maybe the deeper question is this: in a world where power shapes decisions, where do we find our own anchor? Because history is not only written by leaders, it is carried by ordinary people like us.